Okay, so before I get into it, I'm fixing to put the Dragon Prince on blast a little bit. And I know that, the Dragon Prince fandom cannot agree on literally anything. Like, I could say the most mild take, and I'd get 6 people disagreeing with me in 7 different ways. I'm fully prepared to get some heat back, just like, be nice. I am literally neurodivergent and a minor, okay? Bro, it's not that deep. But, that being said, feel free to disagree with me, just don't be a dick about it, okay? Anyways, starting off, I have a very deep love of the Dragon Prince, and I have since it came out. I watched it while it was first coming out. It was on par with Kipo and She-Ra for me, which is saying a lot if you actually, know me as a person. That being said, this new season gives me some doubts, both for the way that it is supposedly going to be funded, and because of the last arc that came out. So let's get into it. First off, the crowdfunding thing gives me a few doubts. For those who don't know, the new arc is going to be funded on Kickstarter. And believe me, I don't have anything against, crowdfunded shows, at all. I'm a very big fan of Hazbin Hotel, and I will probably be referencing it a lot in this video essay. However, this in particular feels a little bit scummy to me, especially because they had their chance to finish it and give it a reasonable ending, and then they decided to not take it, knowing for a fact that they would not get, any more seasons, and then somehow we miraculously have another chance. It feels weird. It feels wrong to me. Yeah, it feels scummy in my opinion. There also, another thing that's giving me doubts is they're attempting to make it so that people who have never seen the Dragon Prince can watch it. I don't think I need to explain why that's bad, but mostly my issue with that is that they did a lot of, work with the characters in the first arc and a little bit in the second arc, and I don't think we need to forget that, okay? We've already had one really bad status quo reset in the series, and I really don't think that we should just do it again, because it wasn't that good the first time we do it. Why are we doing it a second time? And I get it won't be on Netflix. I get, why, some people may be hesitant to be fine with that, but, y'all know piracy exists. You don't have to get Netflix to watch the first couple seasons, right? You probably shouldn't pay to see the second arc. That stuff was ass. But, I do not believe in a reboot, okay? We shouldn't be rebooting this. This is not Pokemon. Okay. Reason number 3 I'm hesitant about this. The third arc was ass. I'm being, so for real right now, it sucked. And it felt like a filler arc. And filler arcs, they're fine. You can have a filler arc, you can't just end on a filler arc. But Briar, I really liked the last 3 seasons. There were a lot of good things in it, and I really don't think we should be just... Listen, bro. You can lie to yourself, you cannot lie to me. I agree, there were some good things in the last arc. And I am about to list them right now, because you always start with your counter-argument. But, overall, was it good? Let's ask ourselves this. And the only possible answer is no, because objectively speaking, there were a lot of things wrong with it. Okay, so, first off, I really like that they gave Terry a redemption arc. Okay, he had a good heart, it was in the right place, and he just got involved with the wrong person, and I would have been incredibly disappointed if he hadn't have given the chance to get a redemption arc, especially because Soren got one. And if we're really looking at the moralities of both of these characters before they got their whole redemption arc thing, I think Terry is obviously better, low-key. I really like the return of Human Rayla. This isn't even done to this isn't even due to anything with the writing. I just really like Human Rayla. I also really like Leola. She adds a lot of depth to Erebos' character, and I really like her character and story. I also really like the concept of dark magic like, having been brought into the world by a child who was trying to help, especially because the Dragon Prince has always had a lot to say about the way children, like, look at things and act, and, you know, generally, the Dragon Prince does imply that children's innocence and whole simplistic approach to life is a good thing, but I really like that this one sort of, like, implies that, yes, it can be bad. It's a counter-argument, much like this is a counter-argument, okay? I also really like the implication that the Cosmic Council caused the thing that they tried to prevent. And, low-key, once this entire arc is done, I might make a video comparing Erebos to Netflix Castlevania Dracula, specifically, which I think would be funny and peak internet, okay? Like the thumbnail alone. Anyways, I also like the Janai Kareem Amaya plotline. I know some people really hated it, and honestly, I don't think they fully hated it. I think they just hated how much time it took up, compared to, like, the actual, main plot, which I will get into, right after I start. Like, I also really liked that, when Rayla was given the choice of bring her parents back or bring Runan back or bring one of her parents and Runan back, I really like that we all acknowledged, or that she acknowledged that, like, realistically, Runan was probably more of a parent to her than the other two. And I know that that's not, like, the full reason why, because those two, I don't know their names. I don't think their names were ever mentioned in the show. But, like, I feel like it was good that they needed to acknowledge that they moved on. I like that too. That wasn't in my notes, but, back to my notes, Janai Karima Maya plotline. As an American, I really relate to the Janai Karima Maya plotline. Okay, Kareem is literally Elf Donald Trump, and
How generous.
I understand you, Kareem. I used to fear the so-called monsters across the border.
I think that is so funny. They should have made him more orange. Low-key, like, his entire villain arc is about wanting to be a strong ruler to keep those people over the border, and, like, not to make light of my current situation, actually to make light of my current situation here, because we all need to make light of our current situations. That shit, like, I miss when we could joke about this on the internet, bro. I really like that plotline. I thought it was well thought out. I liked it, honestly, low-key, and I don't think the people who really hated it actually hated it. I think that they hate how much time it took up, which brings me to my, wait, I don't think it's my final point, but it brings me to my next point. It was really rushed, and I don't even mean in, like, the fast-paced sense, I mean the writing. The second arc is really rushed. The 5th season had barely anything going on, and seasons 6 and 7 were way overcrowded. Like, the simple solution would have been to rearrange the subplots so that the plotlines were more evenly spaced, which you could have probably come up with if they had put more thought into it. But I feel like they just rushed the writing a little bit. Ezrin felt a bit like a side character in most of the episodes. He didn't have a lot going on. And Erebos and Claudia were the more interesting than anything Ezrin did and most of the things Callum did. Like, the villains carried the last couple of seasons, bro. Like, what are we doing here? Like, I swear to God. Be so for real. The status quo reset, I also don't like that. Like, Arc 1 ended on a cliffhanger. Well, cliff faller, if you will. Knee slapper. Anyways, ended on a cliffhanger, and, like, we picked up a few years later. Well, actually 1 year later. I say a few, my notes say a few, I know it was only 1 year later, I think. Like, it was a bit of a soft reset. Like, what are we doing here? Like, come on. What, why? Also, the ending. Do I need to explain why the ending was bad? Like, I feel like we can all agree. You can't just end Okay, you ended the entire series, okay, on the knowledge that the villain would be back in 7 years, and, like, to cause more chaos than it already did, and then you killed off 3 archdragons. Like, what are we doing here? And I hear you in the comments, but Briar, the series isn't over. That doesn't matter. It was meant to be over. I don't particularly care if it's actually over. I care that it was meant to be. And that's not a great indicator for the future direction of the show. If they ended on a filler arc and a cliffhanger once, they can do it again, and I just don't really trust Wonderstorm anymore. Like, I swear to God. Okay. There are other reasons I'm a little bit concerned. I'm worried that they might fill it with, like, fan service. Like, to the point of it being bad. Now, I am not completely against fan service. I watch Hazbin Hotel after all. Okay? But, if I'm being fully honest, by the baby itself seems to be fan service of sorts. Like, if I'm being fully honest, like, it's not a good sign. And this alone wouldn't be bad if it wasn't for the crowdfunding reason. Like, I worry that they're gonna do what they know the fans would want to get money to fund it. And if you keep doing what the fans want, it dilutes the story. And you may think that in this day and age, you know, with Disney ignoring its face all this time, it wouldn't be a problem. But can you imagine, with me, imagine for 5 seconds, that Radio Apple became canon because of fan service? It would ruin Alistair's whole character, okay? Can you, like, listen, fan service, it can be good sometimes, I agree. And it's really fun, especially when it's, like, a little nod. But, like, whenever it's, like, I worry for that. That one's less founded. It's just more of, like, paranoia. But I feel like it could happen. It's just a gnawing in the back of my mind that it'll happen. Yeah, wait. Okay. So, anyways, let's go over the designs before I give myself an aneurysm. Before I go over the designs, this audio is being recorded Sunday, October 5th, 2025. The designs I'm going over are the ones available at time of recording. If there are any new ones that come out between now and when this video goes up, I will make sure to make a YouTube short out of it. Okay. Ezran's design, really cool. He looks really badass. He looks like Harrow. The only thing I worry about is that his voice actor's voice might be a little too young or high-pitched for his model, but I still think he looks cool. The design itself is really cool. 10 out of 10. Okay, this is how you do a beard without making them look old. Like, this looks like a kid who would go to my high school. And considering that he's 20, that's like a 2-year. I know a 19-year-old who looks exactly like this. Okay, listen. 10 out of 10. Zim, 8 and left no crumbs. 10 out of 10, no comment. Callum. Okay. So apparently the beard was changed, but I heard this from someone on Pinterest who heard it from someone on Twitter. And I don't think you should trust anyone from anything on Twitter. But multiple people seem to be citing this, so yeah. Anyways, I'm not sure what the new design looks like yet at time of recording. It hasn't come out. By now, it probably will come out. Like, by the time this goes up. Because I always post on Fridays. But by the time this goes up, it probably will be out by then. So I'll put, like, a pinned comment with my opinions. I don't like the beard. He looks 40. He's supposed to be 24. Moving on. Starry Erebos. I actually really like this one. I hope that he'll get some snazzy new fabulous dramatic clothes in Season 8. I really hope that Human Erebos isn't coming back, but, you know, 9 out of 10, this is good. Rayla. I saw a lot of people, complaining about the Callum design, but not nearly enough people complaining about the Rayla design. In fact, I saw some people defending the Rayla design, which is morally wrong, because that ain't my Rayla, dog. Like, what up? But here are some common defenses of the design. She's gotten older. Let female characters age. I don't think she looks older. I think she looks younger, actually, and this is not that. If anything, like, she's an elf, first off. Now, we don't know how quickly Moonshadow elves age. All we know is that they live at least 100 years because of that comment about the humans' sub-century life expectancy. Now, does this mean that they age faster? Probably. I have yet to see an elf. Well, no. Actually, the one guy who did the trial, I can't remember his name, he looked pretty old. We have seen one elderly looking Moonshadow elf, so it is reasonable to assume that they age pretty slowly, which means that Rayla should not look like this. Okay? Please, why? Okay. Second defense. She just had a baby. When does having a baby make your eyelids and jawline disappear? If someone could please point me to a study, I'd be so glad to read the abstract. Unfortunately, her eyelids are gone. Her jawline is gone. Her forehead is bigger, and they changed the shape of her nose. If I didn't know any better, I'd assume it was a different elf, and that Callum had a side check. What are we doing here, okay? Listen, this is not how you age up a character. She doesn't even look like Rayla. Listen, I'm praying that this is somehow, some sort of, animation mistake, but I don't think it is. Yeah, anyway, Claudia. I don't think there's anything wrong with Claudia. I think she looks the same as she did. How old is Claudia now? I think she's, in her early 30s. I don't know any 30-year-olds who are able to just walk around, but you know what? Well, I know that 30-year-olds can walk around. I mean, she's clearly been hiking across countries, multiple countries, actually, so good on her, but, it's just old Claudia with a mask. I really, I like the new staff. She looks alright. I don't have any criticisms or, praises. She looks fine. She's alright. Looks a bit like Phantom of the Opera, but, eh. Anyways, time for predictions. I have some predictions. Okay. I'm going to say them, all these and log off. I think that we are going to find out that Leola was created by magic somehow. My logic for this is because they killed Leola, but they can't or somehow won't kill Erebos. It's either because they're legally not allowed to, or they can't. And I think it's probably that they can't, because, I really don't think they care about legalistics. Or maybe that's all they care about, actually. But, I think it's more likely that they can't. I think more likely that they can't. I think that Leola was created by Erebos' magic, which would add a little bit more, punch to why he's sad that she died. And I think that she was probably based off of, a unicorn of sorts, because he does like unicorns. But maybe he likes unicorns because Leola looks like a unicorn. Honestly, could go either way. But I also think that we're gonna get more of Leola, because Leola is baby girl. I love Leola. She's my favorite character. Okay. I think, second prediction, I think Anya and Ezran will become a thing. I think they're gonna try to make it a Callum and Rayla clone, and it's gonna be, really mid instead of what it should be, and it should be its own thing. But I don't think it will be. I think they're gonna try to, copy the will they, won't they of Rayla and Callum when they try to do Ezran and Anya, and I think it's gonna be mid, but I think that they're gonna try. I think the villains are gonna be on the defensive. I think they're gonna be running around trying to avoid the heroes, more so than they already do. But I think Erebos isn't actually gonna try to do anything, because he says that he's ready to move on from his anger. And, I think that he's just gonna be spending time with Claudia, and they're gonna be trying to avoid our main cast. Next prediction, I think the writers will suddenly remember that Ezran could talk to animals, and they're either gonna explain it away by saying, oh, I used to do that, but I grew out of it because he lost that childish innocence or whatever, or it's gonna become, suddenly really plot relevant. I think, next one, I think Luxaria is probably gonna be the next, possibility of Zadia. And Kareem's kids are going to be the heirs, and I think that they're probably not going to like their dad. I think that they're gonna be one of those people who are like, I hate my dad. People, they're gonna be like Bramblestar. They're gonna be like, his influence. Everyone expects me to be like him, and they don't like me, but I hate him. Like Lloyd Garmadon or something like that. And I think that's kind of like what it's gonna be like. Let's see, what else did I write on my notes? I just wrote down Soren equals gay. Huh. I don't really like that. Hold on. Well, I don't see why he wouldn't be gay, but I didn't write anything else. Oh yeah, I think Erebos is gonna get like a Dracula-like regret moment, and he's gonna see the error of his ways, and he's gonna be like, Leola would have hated what I'm doing here, and he's immediately going to be imprisoned again. And that's like, I think that's how it's gonna end, probably. Like, I think he's gonna have that moment of regret, but it's gonna be too late, and then he's, like, in prison. Yeah. That's basically, yeah, that's my predictions, that's my theories, that's my opinions. Anyways, yeah, that's it.